Welcome back everybody. So in this video, I'll be doing technical analysis on a couple of stocks starting with Hims, Palantir, Nike, and UNH. So before we get started, please hit that like button. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to get all types of daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of other setups, long term and short term, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into him. So up on the day, nearly 7%. And a couple of things, I know a lot of retail traders are trading these names like Hims, Palantir, and then you got Nike, not so much, UNH, not so much. Now, these things are overbought and there are things that are oversold and could be more potential upside on those stocks like UNH and Nike, where these things could be just topping here. You can see, I mean, I'm not calling a double top yet, but there is a possibility of turning this as a double top here on Hims. Also, if you draw a trend line here, you can see we got this high, and then we came back up here, got a rejection, came back down, came right back up, went over the trend line, but again got rejected, came back in. And now if you look at my screen, trading at 56.33, just below 57.37, which is a big rejection that we saw right here when it was going back up before that big sell-off took place all the way down to 24. And now we're back up into these levels here and getting rejection. And now if you look at my screen after that rejection, we're just consolidating here. So is it actually a good time? Is there any potential upside, trade here? Absolutely there is, but you got to be careful if you're taking those. If you look at my screen today, what happened? Well, it came back down to that 53-ish area and the support held, went back up. So that was a what, $3 or $4 move to the upside. So that is the level. But also keep that in mind. There was a rejection, and that level so far acting as a support. But what's going to happen if that gives up? Well, you're going to see a drop easily down to the next level, 46, and then from there it can go down much lower. You can see right on my screen. Now, what is the upside trade? Well, if you got a chance and you got in maybe on Thursday, maybe today, you can put a stop loss at 53 and play it for the breakout over 57.37. And if that takes place in next couple sessions, you're going to see a pop possibly up to 63 to who knows, maybe even $67, and possibly even going back up and going up to that 72 73 range. So that is your upside target, but definitely there is potential for more downside than upside, because if this thing breaks that 53-ish range, this zone right here, you're going to see a significant drop. So the next one on our list is PLTR, which is up today 6.51. Now yesterday, well, this is actually a heavy retail traded stock. Yesterday we had, and Tesla is another one. So yesterday we had Tesla selling off. There were some margin calls taking place. So a lot of people took money out of this one, and they were busy, covering their, account on that margin call from the money that is taking out. I don't know how much, I would buy into it, but that was the case. That's why you saw that big drop, bearish engulfing candle, and possibly a reversal pattern. But that's not the point why I'm including this. And I did make a video before on PLTR talking about the monthly time frame, and I'm not gonna go there because it's still extremely overbought. I think in next couple weeks, maybe even 2 3 months, you're going to see that playing out on some of these names, especially here on PLTR, because it was a $6 stock. Now I get it. If the company is doing well, it's gonna go up. Nothing's gonna stay down at $6 forever. I get it, but evaluation here on PLTR, the price that you're seeing on my screen, $128. We got up to a brand new all-time high recently here. What was that? Almost 135. That is just ridiculous. And the RSI just off the page on monthly time frames. So PLTR came down to where yesterday, well, that 119 range, it was holding here. It got a rejection here, came back in, it was holding here again, and today we saw a bit of a rally. Same thing on Tesla, we saw a bit of a rally as well because retail favorite stock, Tesla, and then PLTR, these things we trade a lot. Retail traders, investors, we do a lot of things, call, puts, all over the place. We're, always trading these names. So, is there a good opportunity to the upside? In my view, it's very risky and very tough on PLTR. So, if you got in maybe yesterday, maybe a short term swing trade, maybe a scalp, well, kudos to you. You made money. It's up $8. But if this thing can hold $125 here, so far that's holding today, then it can continue possibly up to 132.88, maybe even another brand new all time high. Now, daily and weekly possibility of a double top, absolutely there is. Now, is it confirmed? Can I say this is a double top? Absolutely not, because neckline did not break yet. Now, I want to remind you that just because we're going up, we were going up for many, many days, couple months here, straight up. And then what happened? From 124 came back down to where? $66. So just because it's trading at 130 bucks now does not mean that it cannot come down here at maybe right here at 98, 97. It's possible. So PLTR, in my view, upside is very limited, very less upside here, but there is ton more downside here on PLTR. So if you're trading, I mean, watch these levels, and it's very risky here on PLTR, especially if you get in late and you're like chasing and joining the party late, and it's about to get that reversal. I mean, this is actually a reversal pattern. Nothing is bullish about a massive bearish engulfing candle. Look at what happened. A pure example right on your screen. We got this, and then boom, down, right? Well, in this case, it went back up, so we have to see how that plays out next week on PLTR. All right, so the third one is UNH, and here I see a lot of opportunities. We're still in a trade here on UNH. That is a longer term trade, and it's still up, and I think there is more upside potential. Now, a lot of people nowadays, they want money right now. Let's say you bought it a day or 2 days ago, you want the money immediately. If that is your goal, this is not a trade. Ignore it. That's not going to happen. It's in a downtrend, it's in bear market, but it will come out. That is almost a guarantee at some point. This is a big name. Now, if you look at my screen, what is happening here on UNH? We had that massive move down. We had a massive move up, came back in, and now we're just going sideways and pretty much just consolidating inside this wedge type of pattern, just coiling up here. You can see we got rejection here, we got rejection again today, pretty much a rejection even though it's a green day. But if that breaks here, that's about, I would say, 305 to 306. Well, game on for a move up to 312. We did close that gap just a couple of days ago, I think last week. And if this thing gets over 312, the next upside target 324, and then we can come up here. 340 definitely possible. And if the momentum is right and it can possibly hold up these gains, it can push, up to this gap 377. So at least in near short term, and when I say near short term, at least 2 months, I think this has the potential to move up unless there is some, really bad news again with UNH that we have seen in past couple months, then it might go down. But if this thing gets that momentum, we get some volume like we had here, it can push up to this gap definitely, and there is huge upside potential on UNH. Now, as a support, if you look at my screen, that 290 to 294 zone, we're just ping ponging right there. Now, if that breaks, then we might see a drop down to that lower level, but looks like we're not heading that route right now on UNH. And the last one is Nike, which is flat on the day today and came back in at 62, went back up. So basically a green day, but not by that much. We also have earnings coming up on the 26th of this month. So that is something to watch. Now, it already took a massive, massive beating. If you look at my screen, 52-week high here on Nike now at 95.98. This thing is down quite a bit. And you can see this low down here. We had the gap down, went back up here, and from there we're just slowly going up and building momentum here. Any spark out of that earnings, last one was not good. We had a gap down. Anything good comes out of this earning, which I don't think there's going to be anything really crazy because of, tariff. Otherwise, I would say this is 100% that they're going to, uh, have a better earnings coming, on the 26th. But with these tariffs, it's always a bit risky because the business is tied up to that, tariff. And if they're paying more, obviously they're going to make less money. But just because things are not working out right now does not mean that the stock is bad and it's not gonna go up and we don't have a potential, on Nike. I think if you look at my screen, this is a trend line, but you can draw another trend line here. It's just coiling up here. So before the earnings, I'm still holding a lot of shares in bunch of calls long term, sold a few here and there, but mostly holding. And I think I'm going to sell and maybe take some profit. We get up to 64. We got really close to it, but I just need that gap getting filled and to see if that gap can actually act as a potential support. And then I might sell some into it and then keep some and then slowly sell my calls up here at 72, and then all the shares, I don't even have any plans on selling these shares cheaply. Worst case scenario is going to drop back here. So, that's what, $10 drop? I don't mind. Possibly we'll just grab more. But I think if you can hold, and the last video I made, it was just couple, maybe 2 months ago on Nike. And that is why I'm actually making these videos, because I used to make a lot of these videos on these names. And right now what I do is just big mega cap stocks and the stock market update. And right now, if you guys want to see more of these types of analysis and what I'm doing behind the scenes, what I'm buying and selling, especially to share on YouTube some of my trades, the real trades, like these ones that are long term and safer, hit that like button, guys. There will be more videos coming out like this one. So that's why I haven't been doing a lot of these videos, but uh, you know I want to come back out and put more videos out for you guys, because I think that two videos are just not enough. People that are watching and subscribe to my channel, especially for my subscribers, I think I need to give back more, but always with your support. And these videos, I don't get paid. I'm not making these videos for YouTube money. What, $1.50, $2? Absolutely, that is not why I'm doing this. I love doing this, and especially if you want to repay, the like would be the way to go, because if you hit the like button, that makes me happy, and I know you're enjoying, you're watching, and possibly making some money, and getting that right call or right, the stock, and then getting out at the right time as well. So Nike going into next week Monday, keep an eye on that 62, because rising 20-day moving average is right there. We held today. So if that holds, we can possibly push up to 64. That's definitely possible. And what I'm seeing here, guys, yes, this is actually not only this wedge, you can also call this a giant bear flag. Many ways you can put it. There is a wedge going on here. There is a giant bear flag going on here. We're coming into the bottom of the flag and then going back on top of it. So maybe we come up here at 65 at some point. Maybe we come back down to 62. Things can, get looked at different ways. But I think if you can hold the shares, if you have, calls that are not going to expire in a month or so, or a couple of months, and these are not something like really crazy expensive options, like $2,400 for one. You can buy 10 or maybe even more than that, you know. So Nike, I think a fantastic company, fantastic opportunity. Right now, they might not have everything that you want, but if you look at this monthly time frame, it's coming off from $179. And if I put this right up here and I go down all the way down here, look at the percentage right here, how much it's down. So basically, you're getting this stock for peanuts. I mean, you're paying peanuts for this stock. So great opportunity, and let me know if you guys want to see more these types of videos like I used to do, even on some of these, short interest, stocks like PLTR, HIMS, and maybe I'll do a video on some of the other ones. So definitely, like is the way to go to, tell me that, hey, we want to see more videos, and especially on these types of names and some of my trades that I'm holding and will be holding, and what I think is a good idea to get in. Definitely, it will be worth it for a lot of people. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated.